August 14, 2016, Day 8. After an enjoyable 8 days in Afghanistan, I was ready to leave to the airport, so I asked my host little brother for directions.
My name is Bujan.
I'm gonna go to the airport right now. Can you describe to me what kind of bus I need to take?
Yeah. For the first, you should get bus to Sinan Pamir from Kartechar, and from Sinan Pamir you take a bus to Maidan Hawaii.
How long should this take?
It will take about 1 hour.
1 hour?
Yeah.
Okay, great. After describing me the route, he decided to accompany me to the airport so I would get there on time without any mistakes. I wanted the local experience by taking the city bus, even though buses were discouraged from being taken by tourists. Anyways, who would know I was a foreigner as long as I didn't speak? I said goodbye to Busan outside the airport and we parted ways. Wrapping your luggage was pretty much standard at the Kabul airport. I waited several hours and was told that both Emirates and Turkish Airlines were completely full with no seats, so I would have to return the next day and try again. While at the airport, I met these two guys who were luggage wrappers, named Ali and Omid. I was surprised Ali was as white as me. He must have been a descendant of Alexander the Great. After no luck at the airport, I returned by bus through the city to stay another night. I couldn't resist to try another ice cream as I walked through the neighborhood to find my accommodations. Then I found this bakery shop.
There you go.
Hello. So this is the kind of bread they sell here.
Good.
The next morning, August 15, Day 9. Good morning, how are you?
Fine, thanks.
Alright, great. So we're having breakfast here this morning and it's a traditional Afghan breakfast. We got eggs, omelets, bread, yogurt, and tea.
That's not the yogurt actually, I think it's cream.
Cream?
Yeah, it's free.
Okay, so when you first saw me, what did you think?
I wondered that how can an American be dressed like Afghani, like wearing Afghani customer. It was somehow different for me. It was amazing for me.
So you didn't think I was...
No, I at first look I didn't notice that.
You
But
thought...
suddenly, yeah, the time he told me about you, that time, okay, I come to this understanding that wow, even Americans can feel themselves safe in Afghan clothes.
Yeah. It was true. As soon as I put on Afghan clothes, I felt much safer. I got my local clothes on with the vest. Even people talk to me in Persian.
Sure.
Sometimes they ask me a question, I don't know how to answer. Thanks to Busan, I knew the bus route to reach the airport on my own this time. I left early, so I had plenty of spare time. On the way to the airport, I stopped to visit a local bakery. This was how they made bread in Afghanistan. They first matted it down on this wooden block, then slapped it several times to expand its diameter, and then finally it was time and finished and he would slap it on the table for the next guy. This guy would take the dough and make sure it was elongated along this board. He also made sure it was completely flat, and then would later use this board to slap it on the side of the oven underneath the floor. The third worker's job was to take the baked bread with his tools and stack them up. Of course, the fourth guy was there to make the sales to the customers. On the bus, I noticed there was a traffic jam. I wondered what was causing it. Soon, we passed by the commotion. It was a car bomb that had gone off in a nearby parking lot. I thought this would make the news, but it only made one paragraph in the newspaper. Apparently this happened all the time, but it was a big deal for me. Luckily, I was stuck in traffic because it looked like it had happened just 30 minutes before I passed by. This time, Turkish Airlines had space on the flight, and I managed to get a seat. Here was the international departure terminal. After 16 checkpoints, I was finally on the plane. Well, yesterday the flight was full, and today it's good. So I'm on my way now to Istanbul. So I'm leaving Afghanistan finally. My 153rd country, taking Turkish Airlines back.
Yes, your boarding pass please for helping you.
Inflate your language when you're leaving the aircraft. Your question will be automatically.
Thanks to all the Afghans that helped me on my trip to their country and made it a memorable experience during my 9-day visit. I was happy to visit 5 cities and gain a better understanding for their country. They say 5 million people live here in Kabul. From the air, you could see that Afghanistan had an arid climate, with agriculture surrounding the rivers, where settlements formed. Finally, I was arriving back to Istanbul, the center of the world. I liked flying on Turkish Airlines because they flew to the most countries of any airline in the world. I just finished my trip to Afghanistan for the last 9 days, and now I got back to the Istanbul airport where I'm transiting.
and I'm going to basically catch another flight now to Bishkek and then onwards to Ulaanbaatar.
Let the next adventure begin, this time to Mongolia. Nobody flinched an eye while wearing these clothes inside the country, but once I was outside Afghanistan and on this airplane bound for Mongolia, passengers started making comments about my Afghan clothes I was wearing, as though it made me look like a suspicious person. I just shook my head. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for my next adventures in Mongolia.